That's what I'm telling you. I did my research. I see what I know, and this is why I chose Islam as what I want to do. The Bible never showed me what I need to know.
Let me ask you something. You ever heard of the sub-Saharan slave trade? Well, this is when the Arabs and the Africans actually sold the Israelites into slavery. And that's how we learned the Muslim religion.
Right.
Through that. You know, the history of the Muslim religion is actually, to me, read it for you. I don't want to just tell you what I want to show you about it.
Right.
But read it.
Well, you say you be following Islam and all that? That's an Arab. That's Abraham.
Let me read it for the boys. You ever heard of this book? Babylon of Timbuktu? It's gonna give it gives you the history of what actually happened to us. I think it's
read it like you.
Artified. Yeah.
This is the book from Babylon to Timbuktu, right? Written by Rudolph Winston, right? Islam and Judaism. We're gonna start right here. The Prophet Muhammad adopted many principles and laws from the Jewish religion. First of all, the basic idea of monotheism. Monotheism.
Now you know the Muslims at first they didn't believe in one God. They had like a God for every
son,
yeah.
Right.
Well, they adopted, so that means they took something from the Bible. Go ahead.
Which is the belief in one God. The Jewish confession of the unity of God is Shema Israel, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Ahad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
What's up, brother?
The Muhammadan slogan is as follows. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the prophet of Allah. Muhammad adopted also the main details of the Jewish calendar.
He's taking something from the Bible. Go ahead.
The Day of Atonement, the Sabbath, much of the Bible, and narratives from the Medrash, and many points of the ritual law. Incidentally, the Jews pray three times a day. 3 times a day facing the city of Jerusalem and the Mausoleum. True believers pray 5 times a day facing the city of Mecca. Trying his best, Muhammad sought to convert the Jews to his new religion.
Now he tried to convert the true Jews to his religion. But like you're a true Jew,
right?
And that's what they converted you to. Good.
Right, but to no avail.
To no avail, because we fought that thing for a while.
The Jews were adamant and resistant to change. The high esteem which the prophet held for the Jews was transformed to enmity in the state of allies. He looked upon them as competitors.
Because he was pushing a new religion other than what we had already. And he wanted the Jews, he know for him to really gain power, he had to get the true Jews, the true biblical bloodline Jews to follow his religion. We never had religion. We just had
Muhammad needed the confirmation of the influential Jews to validate his mission. As all upstarts need the backing of someone influential.
That's what they needed, the Jews.
Muhammad therefore turned against the Jews and became their tormentor.
Now he actually turned against us in war because we wouldn't follow his stuff. Read that.
Muhammad tried to construct his religion as closely as he could after the Jewish religion. He favored the Jews by accepting many of their laws and traditions.
That's what you get not eating pork. All that's in the Bible. None of them came together, though.
Not eating pork in the Bible, right? Yeah. You know, in another Bible it says to eat pork.
What Bible?
I think it's a Catholic.
The Catholic one? Well, the Catholic Bible have the... We gotta see that.
Yeah.
We gotta see that.
Why I told you, when I was reading, I read a lot of Bibles in jail.
King James. You said the King James?
King James version. I
Is
read
that in the King James?
No. What did you find in the King James version? What did you read? That kind of probably struck something to you. Be like, okay, you know, or I didn't strike something to you. You say, no way. I can't remember.
What color King James?
It was a black one, Jordan.
Okay, so you know he was a black man. So why wouldn't you read something that's not from a black man?
How would I know?
Well, because I mean, that brother, he was an Israelite. He knew who he was.
Right.
And he was teaching his, he left that Bible that way for us to know who he was.
When I was born, that wasn't brought to me.
That wasn't brought. That's what I'm saying. That's right. It
I
wasn't
did my
brought.
own research. I'm telling you what I found.
Got it.
I didn't run into y'all who was coming up. Sure.
Got you. No, I got you. Neither one of us. Neither did us.
Yeah, right.
Trust me, we were
Right.
doing the same thing. Go ahead, finish reading that. I'm just giving you the history.
He favored the Jews by accepting many of their laws and traditions. When the Jews refused to be converted, he commanded his followers to stop turning to the holy city of Jerusalem in prayer, but rather to turn to the city of Mecca. He changed the Jewish Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, or feast day, which he had accepted for the month of Ramadan.
Hold on. What that shows you is that is a contradiction against the Bible and the Quran. So it can't be saying the same thing if he's making all these changes.
Right.
Go ahead.
Muhammad changed the Jewish Sabbath from Saturday to Friday. We have another parallel with Christianity. In the 4th century, the church changed the Sabbath to Sunday.
That's why we don't follow the church either. And we following the laws of what the Bible actually says.
Right.
Go ahead.
And reorganized its calendar to make Easter separate of Passover.
Yeah, we know we don't celebrate that.
Like Christianity also.
Right.
Muhammad included in his Bible the Quran. Accusations concerning the Jews. Nevertheless, the Quran glorifies many biblical personalities. In order to
That's what I just showed you.
In order to win the pagans into the church, Christianity adopted many barbaric customs and traditions. Likewise, Muhammad, to gain the loyalty of the pagan Arabs, adopted many of their beloved customs. The Kaaba stone, an idol, was received high regard in the new religion. Also, the pagan temple at Mecca was to remain as a holy site.
You planning on doing your Hajj? You going
After Muhammad became a camel driver, he traveled to remote and intriguing lands. He led his caravans to Persia, Syria, and Egypt, transacting businesses with merchants of every kind. On his business trips, he met Jews, Christians, and members of other sects. He interrogated them concerning the tenets of their religions. He frequented the environment of the Jews and their rabbis, mostly because they were merchants and an omnipresent ethnic group, because he could not read or write. His ears were attentive and keen to everything that the Jews related to him. Muhammad learned and extracted much from the Jewish religion and compounded it with his new religion, Islam.
Why would you even follow that?
It's big, man. That's big.
Dude, you are so important. You know, look at this. Check this out, brother. You are way more important than what they give you. Bring that out in which one, brother?
Rebecca chapter 2, verse 18. What profited a man image that the maker thereof have graven it? The molten image and a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols. Woe unto him that said to the wood, awake to the dumb stone. Arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. But the Lord is in his holy temple, that all the earth keep silence before him.
So that question was, why would you follow that when you have a greater history than that? A greater and more promising history than that?
That wasn't brought.
Well, I mean, now it's being brought to you.
Right.
Yeah.
I still got to do more research.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
You know one thing that rules the world, right?
What's ruling this world right now? Yeah, go to Job 9:20. Job 9:20. We're about to show you.
No, I'm talking about, religion. That's what's making everything go crazy, right?
Yeah, that's why we don't teach
Right.
religion.
It's not religion. It's not religion.
This is your nationality,
Right.
because when you came up, you said, I asked you your nationality. You said African, well, first you said black, then you said African American. And I showed you those two things can't be possible.
Right.
You way greater than that, bro.
We're trying to shake religion out of you.
Right. Yeah.
We're trying to shake the Islam out of you.
That's right.
A lot of our brothers went to jail and came back with that. You way greater than that. Give that.
It's the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
That's who's ruling it right now. The wicked. Go ahead.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
They covered his face in the Renaissance. The greatest judge we ever had was this judge.
If not, where and who is he?
So this is what they did. They covered his face with this face. That came in the Renaissance. But you know Christ is a black man. Because you knew King James was black.
Right.
Well, wouldn't his people be black as well?
Right.
And that's what we telling our people. These people are the true biblical Israelites. But we want to know who those people in Revelation 9 and 2. We want to know who those people are that's saying that they Jews. Who are they? Who are those people? The Bible tells you all things. I'm about to tell you who they are. Revelation 2 and 9.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 9, verse 2 and 9.
2 and 9.
Chapter 2, verse 9. Slack. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty.
Because the true Jews are actually in poverty. And God said he knows the stuff that we're dealing with. Good.
But thou art rich.
But we rich because all the blessings, all the covenant, the whole Bible is for us.
And I know the blasphemy of
Blasphemy
them.
means lies. He knows the lies. He knows the lies of what?
Of them which say they are Jews and are not.
But who they are?
But are the synagogue of Satan.
God calls them people the synagogue of Satan.
Right.
They didn't deal with all the stuff we have to deal with.
Right.
They didn't go to slavery on slave ships. The Bible tells you, go to Deuteronomy chapter, first go to 1 and 1.
The book of
We
Deuteronomy,
gotta show
chapter
you
1,
how we know who we are.
verse
Good.
1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
That was Moses talking to these people on this side. Go to 28 and 1.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Now that was a contract that God instructed Moses to give to these people on this side. He said, if you do everything he said, that God is going to put you above all nations. So it's no such thing as equality. God wanted you above because he created you that way. Go to 15. Let me show you the flip
Verse
side
15.
to that.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments, and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All of these what?
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Don't it seem like we're in a curse right now? Now we got to figure out, did we actually do what God said? Go to Daniel 9 and 11. The Bible is set right there. We just never read it before. We never really read it with new eyes. Now when you read it, you're going to read it with different eyes. Go ahead.
Book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
All Israel transgressed against what that contract that we had.
Even by departing, that they may not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us.
That same curse.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
Keep going.
And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
Now check this out. This was a great evil that was brought upon us. Slavery. This was a great evil because we broke his laws. The Most High allowed this to happen to us. Go ahead.
For under the whole heaven have
Under the
not
whole
been
heaven.
done.
Under the whole heaven.
For under the whole heaven have not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
Now, what that means, Jerusalem is the children of Israel. That's just another word for it. But he said, no greater evil ever happened to these people.
That's right.
So a lot of people come and they say, well, they went into slavery, but nobody dealing with it is worse than we are. Nobody. Give me Deuteronomy 28:16. Check this out, brother.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28.
To pull one of these curses to show how we know we the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Egypt just simply means bondage or slavery. And that's in Exodus 20 and 2. Go ahead.
With ships.
Well, huh?
With ships.
Well, what?
With ships.
How did we get on this side of the earth? Go ahead.
By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We're not going to see that our homeland no more.
And there ye shall be sold
And once we got off those slave ships,
unto your enemies. For bondman,
for slave man,
bondwoman,
and slave woman,
and no man shall buy you.
that means no man's going to redeem us.
Right.
With this black man. Christ. That's what we wait for.
Right.
That's how we know that never happened to nobody else. That's why I'm saying your heritage is, give me Jeremiah 17. Your heritage is way deeper than Islam. You can't even go to the Arab mass. You could go to the Arab people and hang with them. They let you go over there. I know a bunch of Muslims, they say they can't go there. They have to go way downtown. I talk to Muslims all the time.
How you going? You going there like that with your Tommy Hilfiger and stuff on?
I was just afraid.
What you have? What you wearing? Like don't you know that God gave us a dress code, the children of Israel? See all those wearing fringes?
Yeah, look at
He's
it.
gonna get to that next. But this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage
We discontinue from our heritage.
that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
That's right. And this whole let me prove, because I did tell you something. I said that the whole Bible was just for Israel, right? First go to Joel 2:27, and then give me Amos 3.
It's the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27.
You read this in the book? You said you read the Bible. Check this scripture out.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed.
Now, he's the God of Israel and nobody
Amos
else.
chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So everything that we do, that's why we the only one get punished. You ever notice the Arabs do the same thing we do? Yeah, we the only one struggling.
They got brothers and all that. They got number chicken stores.
No matter what, you go right to those people thing, and guess what? You do something, he do something, guess what's gonna happen to you? That's because that curse is on you and on us as a nation of people. We're not all one. God created some people above and some people